All right, breaking news on the AIG bonuses and the government's financial bailout package. Stick with me here. The chairman of the Senate Banking Committee apparently lied about taking part in what went down. The federal economic stimulus bill ended up containing what's been called a loophole, wording that made sure companies getting bailout money can keep bonus contracts in place for their employees. We're talking about Senator Chris Dodd was among the lawmakers yesterday who denied having anything to do with that loophole. But today, he admits he added the language to the bill. Here he is talking to Dana Bash from our sister network, CNN.
You were very adamant yesterday, that you didn't know how this change got in there, and now you are saying that your staff did work with the administration.
Going back and looking, and obviously, and I apologize to Ted and so forth, but the date is only significant to the extent could it be modified. And the provisions we insisted upon, as even part of that discussion, was that the Secretary, if in fact the law was inconsistent with those bonuses or contrary to public interest, which I believe this is, and ironically, it's the administration relying on that section, which is using that as a means by which they can reach back and try to get at these bonuses, which I'm confident we will. So I'm very proud of the fact we wrote the language. Had we not written it, we'd be debating with it.
But you did agree to modify this, to put that clause in.
The alternative was losing, in my view, the entire section on executive excessive compensation. Given the choice, this is not an uncommon occurrence here, I agreed to a modification in the legislation, reluctantly. I wasn't negotiating with myself here. I wasn't changing my own amendment. I was changing the amendment because others were insisting upon it.
All right, there's the explanation from Chris Dodd, but we have him denying that he had any involvement. We have that on tape as AIG used the loophole to justify paying millions of dollars in bonuses to its executives, which has fired up so many people. You're getting taxpayer money, and yet you're doling out millions in bonuses. Let's bring in now Drew Griffin from Sister Network CNN Special Investigations Unit. Drew, you helped break this story. Lay it out there for us. As we heard, I don't even know where Dodd was going there for a moment. I guess he was trying to make that explanation. But clear things up for us. Who knew what when about the language that led to these bonuses or opened the door?
We're talking about the specific loophole.
Okay.
Dodd wrote in an amendment that was supposed to stop these kind of executive bonuses. Now, what Dodd seems to be saying now, today, Mike, at 6 o'clock at night, the second day after we've been asking him, is that Treasury asked him to modify the language in some way and put in this, what I'm calling a loophole, what a lot of people are calling a loophole, which says we can't go back and take money that's contractually obligated to any of these executives and any of these companies who get TARP money. We just can't go back and get those because that's part of a contract. Now, he's saying that without that clause, which now he admits he helped put in this bill, that somehow the bill would fail or the deal would fail. I think politically that's a hard argument to make. Who would challenge that? The companies who are getting these huge bailout bucks? The Treasury, which is trying to monitor what's happening? And what I'm hearing up on the Hill from sources in Congress is, why have the clause in there at all? If AIG wanted to challenge it, have them challenge it in court, but don't write in a loophole for that.
Yeah, exactly. And Drew, don't we have Chris Dodd on tape talking to some of our people here?
Yeah, he mentioned, I apologize to Ted. I'm hoping that you can roll this tape right now. Ted Barrett is the producer, our congressional producer, who was up in the Senate yesterday and asked him point blank. Take a listen.
Because there's the suggestion today being made that you receive more money from AIG than any other senator. Mm-hmm. And that you were responsible for the February 11th, 2009 date. And so I just, I just want to get at the fact that you're saying you had nothing to do with
Absolutely
that date.
Not.
And there was nothing you were doing that was aimed at protecting AIG.
Not at all, not in the slightest. Absolutely.
Which has offices, this particular office in the state of Connecticut.
Well, it does with the office, but the point is, when that language left the Senate that I wrote, that was not included.